Some girls in South Carolina are proving flag football isn't just a game, it's a movement inspiring young women.
Reporter Lauren Korn has the play-by-play on the Touchdown Divas.
Hit it, now.
Braids flying and hearts pounding, with flashes of bright pink whizzing by with each sharp pass.
I'll take that all day.
It's the sweat, strategy, and sisterhood that make up the Touchdown Divas.
Because we're the baddest of them all.
10-year-old Skylar Jobe, 11-year-old Chloe Bohart, and 10-year-old Riley McCourt
All right, let's do it.
are part of the first Gridiron All-Girls Flag Football League in Myrtle Beach.
It's all girls. There's no boys.
And they relish every moment of it.
It's just a lot easier to play and to... You can really relate to them better. Yeah.
So why do you like girls football better?
To be honest, the boys are too much drama.
The Touchdown Divas are 4th through 6th graders, spending 8 weeks learning or perfecting the plays before hitting the turf. But that's not all.
The memories we make and the friendship that we have.
Bring it in.
Because we win as a team, we lose as a team. We get hyped and we get low sometimes, but we always have to get back up.
The rules are simple. Bring the energy, bring the skills, bring the fun. Just remember.
Fire! No boys. No boys allowed. No. Except dads, except dads.
That's because 2 of them are the coaches. Skylar's dad is the offensive coordinator, and then there's head coach Doug Bohart,
D him up. Samantha, over here. Kenzie.
who loves teaching his daughter Chloe and the team.
As a father of 2 girls, I think it's just cool to see they can do just everything the boys can do, and a lot of times do it better. I think they listen better. I think they want to learn better.
Okay guys, we're cooking right now.
And he's impressed with how they treat each other both on and off the field.
They're, very supportive of some of their teammates and cheering each other on and picking each other up and, just really teaching them that in order to be successful, we need to do it as a team.
What do you think? You're having your dads coach you.
We will cherish these moments as much as we can.
Boom, there it is.
I want to try my hardest for him because, it won't last forever.
Adriana's got the ball.
And they also, their dads yell at them harder than us.
Come on, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go.
They hustle with pride, wearing a reminder that it's all about attitude, effort, and their unbreakable bond.
All right. Everybody in! Your teammates will always be there for you.
Perfect.
1, 2, 3, Divas!